Hi, boys and girls. This is Mrs. Pearson, your elementary ELL teacher. Today we're going to answer questions using the selection vocabulary words from the first grade Journeys Lesson 3 and the story Curious George at School. So we're going to answer questions using the vocabulary words from Curious George at School. So for this lesson, we're going to turn and talk. I'm going to ask you different questions. You're going to think about your answer. And if you have a partner at home, you're going to pair up with that person, or you can be my virtual partner. And then you're going to share your answer out loud using the vocabulary word in a complete sentence or sentences. So here's our first learning target for this lesson. I can make real life connections between words and what they mean. So you're going to connect with those words and your own life. How do you use those words in your own life? And also, your second learning target, I can use new words I learn in a conversation to show that I know what they mean. So you're going to talk about those words in a sentence, and that will show that you know what those words mean. So success criteria, that means how will you know you're successful at reaching these learning targets? So just like these people are climbing this mountain, the goal is to get to the top. So our goal is to reach the top and hit the learning targets. So I will, number one, read each vocabulary word looking at the picture. So we're going to review the vocabulary words and look at the pictures. 2, you're going to listen to each question that uses one of the vocabulary words. And 3, you're going to take turns answering each question with your partner or me, your virtual partner, using the vocabulary word in your answer. So you're going to answer each question using the vocabulary word. So let's review our vocabulary words. Curious, eager to find out about things, curious. 2, school, a place for learning and teaching, school. 3, this, a person or thing that is near when you say this is my ball or this is my friend. Number 4, kids, children. Number 5, mess, something that is dirty or spilled over, mess. Number 6, paints. Paints are colorful liquids that are spread onto paper or other things, usually with the brush. Number 7, job, a task or work to do, job. 8, funny. Funny means that something makes you laugh or smile, funny. 9, clean, to make something free of dirt, marks, or mess by washing, wiping, or brushing, clean. Number 10, helpful, of service or assistance, useful. So here's our first question. Tell about a time you were helpful. Tell about a time you were helpful. So in your answer, you can say, I was helpful when, I was helpful when. Now it's my turn to answer. I was helpful when I assisted my daughter actually this evening in making dinner. We worked together and I helped her make dinner. Number 2, tell something you are curious about. What makes you curious? So your answer would be, I am curious about, or I want to learn more about. Well, I'm curious about how animals communicate to each other. How do they communicate? Because When I listen to them, I don't know what they're thinking or saying, so I'm curious about how animals communicate or talk to each other. Number 3, what do you do at school? What do you do at school? So at school, so finish that sentence. At school, well, because I'm a teacher at school, I teach students and I work with other teachers. And I also have fun because I like going to school. That's why I became a teacher and I like helping people. Number 4, look at what is in the picture. What can you do with this? And it's pointing to a pen. So in your answer, you can say you can blank with this pen. What can you do with a pen? Well, it shows you can write with this pen. You can write, you can draw, and take notes with this pen. Number 5, how many kids do you think are in your class? How many kids do you think are in your class? Or how many kids do you think are in your school, your whole school? So I think blank kids are in my class, and I think blank kids are in my school. Well, I have 90 kids in my class, although I don't see them all at once. So I think I have about 90 kids in my class because I go to many different classes. And I think there's about 695 kids at my school. Number 6, what could make a mess? So look at our pictures. What could make a mess? I think blank could make a mess. I think blank could make a mess. And you could even say because. Well, I think a kitten, just like in the picture, can make a mess because they're very curious and they are playful. So whatever they see, they would be excited and maybe spill things. I also think all humans can make messes in their room or at school or at home. Number 7, tell about a time when you used paint. Tell about a time when you used paint. I use paint. I use paint. Well, I'll tell you when I last used paint. I used paint last summer when I painted my daughter's room. One daughter wanted green and one daughter wanted gray. So I used paint when I painted a room, 2 rooms actually. Number 8, have you ever had a job to do at home or school? What did you do? Have you ever had a job to do at home or school? What did you do? One job I've had was, and so you could say one job I had was, and Well, for me, one job I've had at school was going into a first grade classroom and teaching a first grade class of students. And I taught them vocabulary words like this, and I've used these PowerPoint lessons. One job I've had at home was making my bed and doing laundry because clothes get dirty and they need to be washed. And every morning when you get out of your bed, you need to make your bed. What tools can help you clean? Number 9, what tools can help you clean? What tools can help you clean? Some tools that help you clean are a mop or a broom, a bucket, uh, a bag, cleaning solution, lots of different things, a sponge. Number 10, do you like the story Curious George at school? Do you think George is funny? Do you like the story Curious George at school? Do you think George is funny? I liked or I did not like the story because, and I think George is funny or is not funny because, so first tell me, did you like the story? I liked the story or I did not like the story because, so I like the story because I love Curious George. I've read Curious George ever since I was your age, ever since I was in first grade. I think he's very um, funny and he is kind and curious. So, do you think George is funny? I think George is funny because, or I think George is not funny because. I think George is funny because he always gets into these silly situations because he's so curious. So let's reflect. Our learning target. I can use new words I learn with a partner to show that I know what they mean. How would you rate yourself? Grade would you give yourself? 4, I could teach this lesson. I was able to use all the vocab words and talk with my partner the whole time. 3, I was able to use the vocabulary words and talk with my partner most of the time. 2, I was able to use the vocabulary words and talk with my partner some of the time. Or 1, I was not able to use the vocabulary words and talk with my partner. How do you think you did? 4, 3, 2, or 1? All right, boys and girls, thank you for reviewing the vocabulary and using the vocabulary words and sentences, showing what you know. Have a great day.